Hi, it's David Pipe here, and I want to talk with you about 4 ways that you can make money by investing in and renting real estate. The first one, and by far the most important, is cash flow. A lot of people invest in real estate and think of cash flow as an after effect. Cash flow is the amount that's left over at the end of the month after you've paid all the bills, your mortgage, utilities if necessary, property taxes, as well as setting aside money for maintenance and income tax. Cash flow is the #1 way that you can judge the value of your first or second real estate investment, because as long as you have positive cash flow, you are not at pressure to sell with the rising and falling changes in the market. The second way that you can make money investing in and renting real estate is through your mortgage getting paid down, also known as principal recapture. Essentially what this means is every single month when you make a mortgage payment using the rent that you've earned, part of that mortgage payment goes to your principal. So your loan value goes down and down, which means the amount of equity that you have in that property will continue to grow because your mortgage debt is lowering. That mortgage pay down is income for you every month that automatically goes to the mortgage and you don't have to pay it. So that's the second way that you can make money and build wealth by renting real estate. The third one is forced appreciation. You've probably heard about people using what's called the BRRRR strategy. You buy, renovate, refinance, and repeat. What we mean is forced appreciation is what happens when the property you've purchased, you do some renovations to it, you upgrade it, you improve it in a way that changes its value. Maybe it can earn higher rents than it did before. That's probably the biggest thing. Or the overall value of the property is increased. When you do that, you can then borrow against that property on the higher value, which gives you more cash that you could use to reinvest or to return some of your initial equity or initial investment back to yourself. And the fourth and last one is what we call passive appreciation. So what that means is over time, the value of real estate here in Ontario, for example, has gone up by, on average, between 4.5% and 5%. We're not talking about some of the years recently where it may have gone up by a lot more or gone down by some, but on the long run, if your time horizon is long enough, you'll see that there's a standard amount of appreciation that we've seen in the real estate market for a long time. And that passive appreciation changes the value of your investment over time without you doing anything. So what we mean, for example, is if you had a property that you purchased for, say, $500,000 and the market's growing at, say, 5% each year, your property every year increases its value by about $25,000. Now, since you didn't even purchase that property with your own cash, you borrowed that money to invest it, the rate of return on your original investment is amplified. So passive appreciation, which is just the market growing in general, forced appreciation, which is the things that you do to the property to increase its value, to earn more rent, or to give it a higher market value. Of course, we talked about the mortgage being paid down. That's money going into your pocket each month that the tenant or the renter is paying, so you don't have to pay it yourself. And the first one we talked about, and by far the most important, is cash flow. So those are the 4 ways that you can make money investing in real estate.